breathe. Liverpool 1, Arsenal 0. What a snooze fest that game was to start things off. That first half, the second half for a large stretch of it, probably until Arsenal actually put on some more attacking midfielders, was it was a chore. I genuinely despise watching Mikel Arteta manage a game of football. Not just because of how he lines up, but his over enthusiasm to where he's basically not even in his technical area, but like on the touchline near like where the lines are painted. That is way too much and far too OD for my liking. I get it. Klopp's done it. Managers do it. Arteta does it every game. He does it in every moment. He does it with such an annoyance that I'm so glad that Dominik Szoboszlai was able to basically make him sit down and put his game plan to rest. Set piece FC, getting scored on by a set piece, a free kick, and a beautiful free kick at that from Liverpool's right back today. Yes, he played right back again. He played brilliantly. Before the goal even, I think he was probably our best player on the pitch. I'm going to talk through the lineup, talk about how people performed, talk about people for Arsenal, all news in the game. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think. Like the video if you end up enjoying. Subscribe if you're new. And there's this new hype button, I guess, somewhere down there in YouTube. So if you're really trying to help, do that and I'll be on like a leaderboard and it can get me more views and stuff. So let's talk about Liverpool today. 4-2-3-1 was how they started the game off, and that's how they lined up. Alisson, Szoboszlai, Konate, Van Dijk, Kerkez, Gravenberch, McAllister, Salah, Wirtz, Gakpo, and Ekitike. All right, so Alisson, gonna talk about him real quick. Played great. Not really much to say besides that. He had a couple of saves. He had that one save. Yeah, it was one big save. I think it was Madueke who shot it. I could be wrong, but there was a save there off the like free kick, and that was really well worked. Besides that, he had a few really good moments where he was, he was good on the ball. He didn't really get too nervous. Did well. Had a lot of touches. Back line, I think honestly, I want to start with Kerkez, and we'll get to Szoboszlai later because I think he's going to be the focus of this video. Kerkez played really well. I want to see his defensive stats. Won 2 out of 3 tackles, not bad. A last man tackle was really good, that tackle as well. A block, 5 clearances, 3 headed, 2 recoveries, won 5 out of 5 ground duels. Half his aerial duels were won, and was fouled twice. And honestly, a couple times he went forward and it looked promising. He had a cross into, I want to say it was Chiesa. I could be wrong, but it was a nice cross. It didn't go anywhere, but signs are good, and he looked a lot better against Madueke than he did against Semenyo. Now, Semenyo is obviously a different player, and he looked better than he did in the Newcastle game as well. He just looked a bit more kind of able to, compete, and this is against the physical side. Madueke, not the most physical player by all accounts, and also not the most physical player at Arsenal, but still very impressive from Milos Kerkez. Van Dijk, doing Van Dijk things. I think he had a good game. Par for the course, lots of passes, very accurate, 90%. 3 clearances, headed 4 total, 3 blocks, an interception, 2 recoveries. Won 67% of his ground duels, 2 out of 3. There was one where he kind of was a little shaky on, but besides that, he did really good. Konate, off injured in the 79th minute. Looked better, but didn't look perfect. 100% pass accuracy. It wasn't bad by any means. He just wasn't the best at winning his duels at times and was a little slow with the pass sometimes. But he played well. Sad to see him down injured. Don't know really what to make of that. Long term, Gomez came on. I imagine he progresses more. And Szoboszlai we'll get back to. But yeah, I imagine that the Guéhi deal progresses because of Konate's injury. Gravenberch and McAllister. Gravenberch played amazing, I think. Really great game from him. Good passing. Almost 10 DEFCON for fantasy heads there. Not the best long ball passing, but he recovered the ball a lot, won a good amount of his ground duels. Pretty impressive. McAllister, 61st minute, was subbed off. I think he did fine, but the game just kind of passed him by a bit, but he didn't do anything egregious, like in a bad sense. Recovered the ball a lot, actually. He did do well with the recoveries initially. But really good from him, but subbed off for Curtis Jones, who I think added a lot to the game. So the midfield three behind Ekitike, and then we'll get back to Dominik Szoboszlai. Gakpo, I think, played good. Wirtz, probably his best performance in the Liverpool shirt thus far. No goal or assist, but he went down injured in the 89th minute as well. Seemed like a similar muscle tightness thing. There was 4 players that went down injured today, 2 for each side. So a lot to kind of just ruminate on. But not bad from either of them. Salah and Ekitike, though. Ekitike, I can't almost blame him because the whole team wasn't in any sort of way giving him the service he needed. And when he did get some bits of service, it wasn't all that impressive. It was fine, but it wasn't mind-blowing. And I think he just kind of got marked out the game, honestly. It was just good defending from Arsenal. They're a physical side. When you see the midfield lineup they had to start, it makes it a lot more apparent as to why they were able to play the way they played. Salah, though, 3rd game now of the season, only 2 assists, no goals yet. He looks off the pace. I'll be real. Hopefully the international break could get him kind of relaxed, but he's not really connecting with Wirtz or Ekitike yet, and I think he needs somebody to play off of at least. Szoboszlai was probably the only person that was giving him some kind of like momentum in that way. I think once Frimpong's back, I think Szoboszlai is earning like a starting spot probably over McAllister, and McAllister is going to have to really graft to get back in. And I imagine once Frimpong's healthy, Frimpong will be starting again at right back, and we'll probably get some more space for Salah to kind of go forward. But not terrible by any means. By the squad, just kind of slow and labored. That's in no small part because of how Arsenal played. Once you look at the lineup, it's very evident how they're approaching things. Raya, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori, Zubamendi, Rice, Madueke, Marino, Martinelli, Gyökeres. I mean, Arsenal's known for their defense. This is about as defensive as you could get while still being kind of like somewhat threatening going forward. That back, like, 6? If you want to count Marino, which he wasn't really an attacking mid, he was kind of just in the midfield. And Zubamendi was really dropping deep, and Rice and him were rotating a lot. But for me, that's basically like 7 defenders that you're dealing with consistently, with the wide players coming back to help as well. That and Gyökeres as well, pressing from the front. It wasn't an impressive performance from Arsenal. It really wasn't. Stats-wise, if we look, they had a higher XG. I mean, listen, Liverpool, they weren't good going forward, but it was just kind of down to the way that Arsenal played, just slow, defensive. That's going to happen. 11 shots until Liverpool's 9. Liverpool had 3 on target. One of the shots, if I'm not mistaken, this one, I want to say, no. Yeah, 22nd minute from this shot, 0.08 XG, they're saying. I mean, honestly, they didn't really have many moments besides that. There wasn't like a really scary moment. Liverpool had more accurate passing total, less fouls. Arsenal obviously dominated on corners and took their time with that, and set pieces and free kicks and such. But all in all, I'm a little concerned. I hope Liverpool can end the transfer window well. I'd love to see Guehi come in. I'd love to see Isak if possible. And honestly, I'd get maybe one more kind of versatile player who could play that kind of midfield fullback kind of thing that Szoboszlai is doing. A guy who could do that on the left to help out occasionally would be great. Like more of a DM, but could kind of like, if you really, really needed to, maybe play left back. I know those kind of players are very thin far between. That's not to say that I want Kipkaj to be swapped out or anything, but I do think having that versatility is very key to competing. Hopefully Salah could start firing on again and find the back of the net. Eventually, he didn't really have many chances and was kind of anonymous at times, but Szoboszlai steps up, a heroic moment, a special moment for a game that needed it, because to be honest, it was a snooze fest up until then. But thank you so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Comment down below with your thoughts on the fixture, on Dominik Szoboszlai's free kick, and how Arsenal lined up. I'm Sideline Sedo. Peace.